Do you want to move away from a meat-heavy diet, but worry that eating plant-based will take too much time in the kitchen? Maybe you have time, but you know you won't have the energy or ability to be standing for hours, prepping, chopping, and cooking vegetables, grains, and beans. After all, doesn't it take way more effort and time to make plant-based meals than regular meals? Not necessarily, if you go about it the right way. That's what we're going to talk about today. In this episode, I'll give you 2 simple strategies you can use starting today to build a more plant-powered diet while saving you energy and time, so you can still make tasty plant-based meals even with your current health limitations. Ready? Grab a warm cup of tea or lemon water and let's get to it. Welcome to the Plant-Based Eating Made Easy podcast. I'm your host, Anna Zinn, plant-based registered dietitian and transition coach. Hi friend, do you want to regain your health with plant-based eating but feel overwhelmed and lost about how to do it? Do you feel it'll be hard to change your meat-heavy diet and impossible with working, running the home, or chasing after the grandkids? If so, you're in the right place. Here you'll find simple strategies, clear nutrition guidance, and practical tips to help you thrive plant-powered with more energy. So if you're ready to ditch the guesswork and transform your health the stress-free way, cozy up now with a hot cup of tea or listen while you walk, and let me show you how doable plant-based eating can be. Let's do this. I want to start by first spotlighting this 5-star review Terry left this past summer on the Plant-Based Eating Made Easy podcast. She wrote, "Transformational eating. Love Anna's no-nonsense approach to plant-based eating. Whether you're totally new or a veteran to this way of life, she's got great tips, inspiration, and encouragement that will make a difference in your health and well-being." Thank you, Terry, for taking the time to leave this rating and review. I am so encouraged by your positive feedback, and it motivates me to keep going with teaching and coaching through these episodes. I hope you will continue to listen in and get support for your plant-based diet journey from this podcast. Friend, please take a moment to leave a rating and review too. It's a chance for you to share your heart with me, to let me know what impact this podcast is making in your own life. Every review counts, and together we can reach and help more people like Terry transform their health through the power of whole plant-based foods. Here's how to leave a review. If you have an Apple device, first find the Apple Podcast app icon. It's a purple square with white circles. Tap on this icon to open it, then search for Plant-Based Eating Made Easy. Once there, scroll all the way down past the 5-star symbols, then tap on Write a Review. Leave a star rating, write your review, and then tap Send. That's it. You can also leave a review if you have iTunes downloaded on your PC computer. It brings me so much joy to hear from you. Thank you for supporting the podcast in this way. Now let's dive into today's topic. Today's podcast episode will be a little different. I'm actually going to address a podcast listener's transition challenge, and that person is actually Terry, whose review I just read. Here's the backstory on this. After I received Terry's review, I was able to communicate with her more through Facebook to thank her. It was there that she shared further of her current challenge doing a full plant-based diet. Terry wrote, "I'm about 75% plant-based overall. I have had injuries to my foot and leg, so being on my feet to prepare food too much keeps me from going 100%. Yet I'd like to be at least 90%. The A1C needs me to be higher as it goes down when I am. And getting enough protein is a challenge in general. Love your inspiration and tips." When I read this, I knew I needed to do an episode about this challenge because I'm sure there are other listeners who are facing this same transition struggle. Are you one of them? Maybe you have also had injuries to your leg, suffer from arthritis, joint pain, or severe back pain. This can all affect your mobility or ability to stay standing for long hours. And when it comes to cooking, we often tend to spend the most time in the kitchen preparing dinner meals. At least I find this to be the case personally. Is it the same for you? That's why I want to share 2 simple strategies with you now to help you make plant-based meals more easily in the kitchen without needing to be standing for extended periods of time. Let's look at the first strategy you can use. It's to sit down to do kitchen prep. This is a great strategy if you have a kitchen table that's the right height for chopping and prepping after you sit down. If not, check to see if you have another table that can be used for this purpose. Some examples are a TV table, an adjustable rolling laptop table, a folding table, or even a desk. You can even make use of 2 tables placed close to each other. For instance, you can use the kitchen table to put your washed veggies and produce, but chop using another smaller movable table, or vice versa. Doing your chopping and prepping here can be more relaxing and easier on your legs or back. You can even make it more enjoyable by listening to a podcast from this show, or have some relaxing music in the background. In fact, this is a strategy one of my past Plant Power Life Transformation course students used. She suffered from back pain and was seeing a spinal specialist in preparation for an upcoming spinal surgery. Despite this, she still made the decision to prioritize her health and enrolled in the PPLT course. In our conversations, she shared with me that she often sits down at the dining table to do her chopping and prepping because that made it easier and she didn't have to be standing for long periods. So I hope you'll give this strategy a try too. Now here's a second smart strategy you can use if you suffer from pain and are unable to stand for long. I want you to rely on less cooked meals. I know many of us grew up on a regular diet with meat, chicken, or fish featuring regularly in our meals. That was the case for me. And since these animal proteins need to be cooked, we would likely have gotten used to having a hot cooked meal, especially at dinner time. For some of us, it may have also become a habit to expect a hot cooked meal for breakfast or lunch as well. But that's one of the beauties of eating a whole food plant-based diet. You don't need to take a whole lot of time to make up a hot cooked plant-based meal if you don't want to, especially if you are just making a meal for yourself or to have with your spouse. You can choose to make your meals much simpler. So think of ways you can make your meals easier to prep and put together for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. This will definitely help cut down on standing time in the kitchen. Here are a few no-cook options to get you thinking outside the box. One idea is to enjoy a green smoothie for a meal instead of the usual cooked meal. You could add a 1/4 cup of tofu, lentils, or beans for a plant power boost to this, along with leafy greens and fresh or frozen fruit. If you like, also add in a tablespoon of a nut or seed butter or a tablespoon of chia seeds. This will make a delicious smoothie combo. Another idea is to enjoy a large plant power salad for dinner or lunch instead. Yes, you can have salad for dinner. Mix in some berries, drained and rinsed canned beans, and fresh veggies for a delicious colorful salad. And if you don't have energy or time to chop up the rinsed lettuce leaves, buy and use a bag of pre-washed leafy greens like mixed baby kale or spinach leaves, or simply manually hand tear the leaves quickly into bite-sized pieces. Either way works. Have I gotten the ball rolling for you? I hope so. If you like this idea of making non-cooked meals, make sure to tune in next week. I'll be giving another easy meal idea you can make for either lunch or dinner. And you won't need to turn on the stove for making that recipe either. So today we looked at Terry's challenge of being unable to stand for long periods of time in the kitchen, prepping and cooking. To help overcome this challenge, I shared 2 simple strategies she could use. The first strategy is to make an arrangement at home that will allow you to do more prep work and chopping while sitting down. The second strategy is to rely on less cooked meals and to vary up your meals with more no-cook options. You can use these strategies too, to make prep and cooking time easier without needing as much kitchen standing time. Varying up your meals with more no-cook options will also give your plant-based meals more variety and boost your nutrition too, because you won't be eating the same few meals in rotation over and over again. Now here's an action step you can take. Take a look at the meals you currently tend to make and see if you can insert 1 or 2 no-cook plant-based meals into your routine as a starting point. Pick one of the ideas shared in this episode to try out for a lunch or dinner meal. And make sure to join me next episode because I'll be sharing another no-cook meal option you can make. Today, I was only able to share 2 strategies to help you cut down on prep and cooking time in the kitchen when making plant-based meals. But there are many, many more smart strategies you can use to make the transition to eating plant-based easier and more enjoyable. And one that works with your busy schedule or current health challenges. That's what my student Lorraine did. Even though she was awaiting a spinal surgery, she was still committed to prioritizing her health in this interim waiting period. So she chose to take the Plant Power Life Transformation course to improve her osteoarthritis, asthma, high blood pressure, and acid reflux. Despite the back pain limiting her kitchen time, she focused on self-care and moving to plant-powered eating. Learning how to make simple plant-based meals using course recipes, smart kitchen hacks, and time-saving meal prep strategies. As a result, she improved her health and gained confidence and many favorite plant-based meal recipes. Friend, I want the same for you too. Join me inside the Plant Power Life Transformation course and let me show you how you can make an easier, more enjoyable transition to eating a plant-based diet. Get more details about this course at plantnourish.com/PPLT course or check the show notes for the link to learn more. Thank you for listening to the Plant-Based Eating Made Easy podcast. If this podcast has helped you, please rate and leave a written review on the Apple Podcast app or iTunes to let me know. Nothing will lift me up more than to read your review and see how this podcast has made a difference in your life. I also pick reviews to read on this show, so your review could be one of them. Come connect with me in my free Facebook community group, Beginners for Plant-Based Diet Success. Just go to bit.ly/PB Diet Success. That's bit.ly/PB Diet Success. You can also subscribe and follow this podcast to get notified when a new episode goes live. Signing off now, this is Anna, and I wish you the best health always.